Good day, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm just going to get straight into our message. So the message I got, I just opened up the Bible today, and I'm going to there's just a little bit here I want to say in Acts of the Apostles. Jesus ascends to heaven. Okay, paragraph 7. And he said to them, this is Jesus' words, "It's not for you to know the times or season which the Father has put in his own authority." So whether, this is referring to the end times, right? "But you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you." So when you have upgraded and you've ascended in the spirit, in the higher self, this is an indication, right? "And you shall be witnesses to me," to God, right? "In Jerusalem." But that doesn't matter. That's here, right? "And to the end of the earth." Yeah. "You be witnesses to me in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." That means globally, right? Everywhere. So it's when the when the enlightened, I'll put it like that, or you can say chosen, but chosen is just people that have actually answered the call. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's chosen, but not all of us choose to and answer the call, right? Answer the call. So, and those that have answered the call, those and probably a lot of you here, apart from crossroad watchers, those that are on the same frequency, have ascended and your abilities have increased. Your senses have expanded, the mind has expanded, your spiritual growth, your understanding, your understanding of being a witness, okay? Being the witness as to him, right? As to God. So we're witnesses to what God can do, right? And this is the thing, this is the other thing. I mean, the reading that I did yesterday, I just changed the name of it because, names affect who clicks on, right? So I can't even remember what I called it now, but it was one that I did yesterday. And, with all the things going on, and then how in the scriptures it says about how humanity is not paying attention, as the witnesses, or not, how we've got all these crazy things happening, and things happen to people, and people have kind of lost their empathy and they don't act, or they don't I was watching, I seen a quick flash of a video yesterday, and a lot of the times I don't know what's real and what's not, right? And that's all part of the confusion, and that's also an indication of the time, right? All that the whole internet is covered in confusion, you know what I mean? But the video that I just flashed through, and there was a woman being attacked by a crocodile, right? It's got her arm. It actually looked pretty legit, but who knows, right? And nobody's helping her, but they're videoing her. We got the video of somebody being attacked by a crocodile, but nobody's hoping. But they're just getting the footage. You know what I mean? There's a big indication, right? They're getting the footage, but they're not actually acting and helping that person. You know what I mean? And that's another indication of the time, is that people not lacking the empathy, or just just not even acknowledging what's going on in front of them, the reality of it. And maybe it is because so many people are watching the screen, you know, they live their lives in the screen, and they, you know, you become desensitized to things, right? The more that you see, the more you become desensitized. And so when you're actually faced with a real scenario, people aren't responding in the right way. It's like as if they're still watching the screen, you know, like it's not real. There's this confusion between reality and not. I mean, damn. I don't know how that's going to work out for the next generations that are actually born into this shit, you know? Anyway, let's get a read, shall we? Get it from this mixed signals. Okay, so what's the message today, Spirit? So it's about us being witnesses, and that is actually telling the truth. That's what the witness is, right? For God. You know, what is the reality of things? There's the witness. Okay? Telling the truth. That's the witness. Okay? If you're in that higher frequency, if it's all about truth. What is real? Body-worn passive tracking device. Okay, so we've got a patent number there again. You can have a look, you can research that if you like. So patent number, so your hashtag patent number and 6014080. A body-worn passive tracking device. Well, you know, we've got those watches. You know those watches? There's one right there. So that's one example. So whatever else is on that. So why this is coming up, we will see. Okay, so what else we got here? Spirit, Holy Ancestors, what's the message? So whatever this tracking body device is, and why this is coming up in the net. We've got charmer, a charm. Could be a charm, you know, like some sort of charm. Like, like necklace or something that people wear. It's passive. So maybe it is something that is somebody doesn't actually know that it can be tracked. You know, it might not be an electronic device. It might actually be something else. We've got the sun. The sun it's a charm. It's a charm. Or the device could something to do with the sun. Or the device could work to pacify, charm. You know what I mean? That's what charming is. Somebody's charm, you know, to charm someone, to charm the snake. You know what I mean? Charm to, it's like, you know, to con someone, to charm someone, to keep people passive. So something's designed to keep people passive. I mean, like yeah, unreactive, and that's what I mean. Not respond to like real life things that are going on in front of you because you've been charmed. Well, that's like hypnosis as well, right? Charmed to stay passive, to not react, to not, you know, like help someone that might be in trouble. Believed is in reverse. Yeah, like not believing what you're actually seeing. Yeah, not believing, even if it's in front of you, not being able to see what somebody else was talking about that the other day. Sure. What's that? You know, like not responding because you don't believe what's actually in your face. Not what's on the screen, because everyone's confused about the reality of what's in the screen. They also become confused about actually what's in front of them in real life. You know, seeing is believing, they say, but not anymore. We've got an ecosystem is in reverse, so this could be a bit of a blow to the ecosystem. what kind of ecosystem are we talking about here, Spirit? Is this the natural ecosystem? Yeah, yeah, it's a blow to the ecosystem because people can't actually see it, even though it's in front of them, you know what I mean? So this is what we're talking about here. Keeping people passive and still going along with everything and not actually being conscious of what it's doing to the ecosystem. Because people aren't even believing what's in front of them. It's a bit like, excuse me, it's affecting my throat chakra. Oh, I haven't said my prayer, I better do that. Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestors, Holy Spirit, guys, please give us a clear and concise message. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, and all negative energy projections will be returned to sender immediately. Hence, somebody might be trying to tap in and shut me up here. All negative energy projections will be returned to sender immediately, dissolved in the ether, or deemed ineffective, however the Holy Spirit sees fit. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Keep myself, please, protected, and my collective protected during and after this reading and beyond. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay. So it's a bit like, like with chemtrails, for instance. People go, oh, that's all, like conspiracy theory. But it's all over the sky, right? And this is it with the next generation. So are they ever going to know what real clouds look like? You know what I mean? Actually, I haven't seen it for a while, but we've been cloudy and rainy for quite a few days now. I've got no power because of it. But anyway, that's just one example. Like the death of fish. Animals, and like what's going on in the oceans and all these things. But people will still keep going along with the status quo, even though they know the damage that it's doing, whatever and it could be to do with what they're consuming, you know what I mean? People still keep consuming things that are damaging to the environment. We've got the mixed signals. Yeah, like mixed signals all the time, everything's so confusing. Okay, one more here, we've got hypnosis, right? Everybody's hypnotised. People can't see what's in front of them. For some reason I just heard of My Favourite Martian. Does anybody else used to watch My Favourite Martian? I used to love that show. I don't actually have an example of it, but it just came to mind. My Favourite Martian, and I'm saying seeing is believing, right? Mixed signals. Stabilise. Beat up. What have we got here? Double-sided. Two sides to every concept, I heard. Two sides to every concept. Is this for and against? I'm gonna have to watch My Favourite Martian now to see what that message was about. Somebody's mesmerised. Or it's keeping the people mesmerised, friendly, keeping them happy, Yeah, delusional there. Friendly, keeping people, passive, right? And mesmerised. That's the hypnosis. Okay, so collective, this is what, now I'm going to say chosen. There's so many labels, right? I don't like using labels, but those that are aware, right, they need to be aware of the truth, and that's why we're here, right? Is to only bring truth, right? No, this is the whole thing. Everything's in, like nothing is fabricated, right? Everything is raw and real, because we want to keep it real, okay? We don't want to be confusing anyone, okay? Our role here is to keep people level-headed and be able to see the practical side of things and cut through the illusions, okay? So we've got to be guides to cut through the illusions, to show, to be witness to God, right? So being witness to God is to cut through the illusions of reality. It's about what is real and what isn't. What did God create and what didn't he? What was his intention? It's about, the intention for humanity. And it comes down to the reality of things. Like realness, you know what I mean? Not all this fake AI. And there's the false prophet, right? The prophet, the real prophet. And again, I'm going to say this again about is what is real. It's not material. It's not like predictions, right? Not like the prophets in the Bible. This is not the kind of prophet I'm trying to talk about here. The prophet, the false prophet is the material wealth, or what is profitable. You see what I'm saying? What is the real profit here? The real profitability is nature, right? What is real? What is tangible? What is alive? What is fruitful? There's the real profit, not what can we build as a human being, like robots and, like man-made things, to what can we profit from? What can we make money from? I mean, there's the false prophet. It's always that running after the profit. You hear what I'm saying, right? What is profitable? But everybody's chasing after the false prophet. You see what I'm saying? I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm finding it very difficult to explain. Because, the what is most valuable, let's change that language. What is most valuable is what is created, original creation. What, you know what I mean? The original creator, the authentic, real, pure creations from God, which relates to the natural environment. We've got ecosystem here in reverse. The ecosystem is the true profit. That's where the profit is in the ecosystem. Not in, stocks and trades and, man-made built AI and technology and all that stuff. It's in the real profit is in the ecosystem, the natural ecosystem. I mean, there's also lots of other types of the ecosystems, but we're talking about the natural environment. Okay? That's where the real profit is. See how that language is being used? to confuse. Right, so okay, so let's get into it. I want to put a couple of oracles out first. We're going to get our ancestors here. I haven't pulled their ancestors out for a while, so let's see what they've got to say. Being passive. Okay, holy ancestors, what does this collective need to know at this time, please? In regards to this passive tracking device. Seeing is believing, but no, it's not. People say that they can see it, they believe it if it's tangible, if it's in front of them, but not anymore. You know, like people would not believe in God or, you know, like Spirit, the Holy Spirit or the Spirit, because they couldn't see it, or you know, like what's in the ether, or the, you know, like the metaphysical, because they couldn't see it, right? So they don't believe it, they don't believe in that feeling. But now it's got even worse with like what I was just explaining about everyone being desensitized to what they're visually consuming, right, on the internet, with all this AI and whatnot. People don't know what's real and what isn't, and so they're becoming desensitized, and so then even when they see something in front of themselves, in reality, they don't believe it. So it's gone from just not believing the metaphysical of what they feel, it's gone to what they actually physically can see in front of them. So this is where it's more important than ever for us to understand the metaphysical, right? Because we've got to feel it. We've got to feel like, so say if we're seeing somebody being hurt in front of us, right? We've got to feel that hurt inside of us, right? We've got to know that hurt to respond to help that person. So it goes back to not what you're seeing, but what you're feeling from what you're seeing or not seeing. Am I making any sense? So like, for instance, you know, people will become desensitized. Like I was using that example, the lady being attacked by a crocodile and nobody responding, just they're not feeling her pain or her terror. They're not feeling it. They're just looking at it, not feeling anything. You see what I'm saying? So we have to go back to the feeling, to feel, which is the metaphysical. We feel the energy from whatever's happening in front of us, to be able to respond correctly to any scenario, right? Okay, body worn, something, yeah, body worn tracking device is keeping people passive, and that is, you know, less responsive, because it's messing with the frequency and those feelings that I'm talking about, you know. It's a frequency interference in the metaphysical as well. Okay. Holy ancestors, what do you need to know? What's the message? Holy ancestors, oh, that's too many. One at a time, please. One at a time. Please give us a message. These ancestor cards are very, very, very good, because it takes us back to those ancestors that are very, very still connected to the reality of spirit, right? The reality. People say it's not reality. People say that spirituality is not the reality, but there's the reality right there. To care, right? Care. Care about the feeling. See, there's the feeling, the caring to give the water to the little bird, right? Like the caring of the ecosystem. It's appropriate that I was wearing this t-shirt. I went and cut it off too short. It was too long, and then I cut it off, so I've got my belly hanging out a bit. It's cooler that way. But anyway, I was going to use the bottom of it to be like a wrap. One at a time, please, Spirit. Body warm passive tracking device. Please, Spirit, can... The ancestors don't want to speak. Have I already said everything? Ancestors, holy ancestors, no. But they keep coming in. So let's just take the one from the top. Okay, Spirit. We'll go with it. Remember who you are. Again, this is getting back to reality, right? So we've got culture, resilience, and beliefs. Oh, yeah. It's the feeling. See, even this bear here, Mishka. Thank you. I was just feeling all the emotion from Mishka. Mishka is one of my spirit guides. Little bear. Mishka means little bear. And we got the bear. Thank you, Spirit. Sorry, I'm getting very emotional here. I'm feeling all the energy from this. Remembering who you are, and the blue is very significant. It's just rushing. Love and have fun. Smile, positive energy, and joyfulness. Again, this is the feeling, right? It's the joy of life. Feeling again. People are not feeling joy. And it's, again, it is because people are consumed by what's been projected through the internet, right? People have to reconnect with past loved ones, sense, feel and reconnect. I can't make it up. Sense, feel and reconnect. Right? It's feeling, it's staying connected to all that was and is and will ever be. And our ancestors are all part of that. Right? And to feel them, to feel emotion, to feel joy in that, knowing that they are there. People have become so disconnected, right? From feeling. It's all about feeling. Tune in and connect. There's our ancestors, right here. Non-verbal communication. intuition, messages. It's about the feel, what we feel, right? Being connected. Get into nature, coexist, gather, and limit waste. Get into nature. Gather. Limit waste. Now, limit waste, that's what I was saying, right? With the ecosystem, people are not paying attention to, things that they consume, things that they use, things that they, that it's affecting the ecosystem, and nobody's in touch. They don't know because they're not connected to nature at all. Coexist with God is coexisting with nature, right? It's the reality of things, not all the false stuff, idols, and false idols, false material things. Move your body, dance, breathe, and flow. Dance, breathe, and flow. That is about the feeling, right? Like when you're dancing and you let go, and letting go all the inhibitions, and you move, you can begin to feel the flow of life within the body, using all senses. The feeling, right? All senses. And then we've got shine bright like a diamond, shine brightly, stand out, be proud of one's individuality. Stand out and be proud. Look at that waterfall behind there. Being in nature, that's the flow of life. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for these messages. I'm so, I'm very privileged and grateful for being able to bring these messages from Spirit. Connect with animal spirit guides, healing, past pets. See, they're still there too, right? And they come back to us, our pets, animal spirit guides. Still part, the animal world. Some of the footage I've seen that was going on in America, where they were like coming down big time on humanity, right? A lot of the animals coming into the cities. Now, again, I've said before, like, let me know, because I don't know what's really going on, because, I see all this footage and whatnot, but I don't, you don't really know how much is real and how much is not, or is it like, like reproduced footage and then put in to make something more exciting to watch for, like for more views, that sort of thing. So I don't know what's real or not, but what I was seeing in one of the videos in America with all the natural, with all the crazy weather and stuff going on, the animals going off, right, with the birds and the bears and the, all kinds of animals. So I'd like to know if anybody here has experienced any of that sort of stuff, because it's like the retaliation of nature is going off, right? And people are still, people are videoing it again, right? And they put it on the screen, but then it becomes desensitized, because you don't know whether it's real or not, or it's just sort of like, oh yeah, just another video, right? You know, I remember, you know, like growing up, and even, you know, I remember hearing about, you know, like some atrocity of somebody uh, getting murdered or something like that. It was just like a whole big, you know, people would respond like, oh my God, you know, like, and there'd be a whole lot of hype about it, and because it was unusual, it never occurred um, very much. But now there's so much of it that everyone's become desensitized, and also like even when people like get cancer, you know, I remember when we were young, it was like, oh my God, somebody got cancer, you know, like, and it was like, oh, that is like, everybody would be heartfelt, and they would bring that person, you know, like cooked food or, you know, anything to help out, while they were, you know, going through what they had to go through. And now it's like, there's that much of it that people go, oh yeah, you got cancer. You know what I mean? Like, people's lost their sensitivity to it, you know? It's like it's no big deal. Oh yeah, another person with cancer, you know? It's become so common. And same as like things like suicides, you know? Like, people have become yes, people have become very suicidal, but desensitized to it. People losing their lives, and it's like, oh yeah, there goes another person. And it's like, as if it's no big deal, but it is, right? Wow. Yeah, people have forgotten very, very quickly. I'm just hearing like some suicides might not be actual suicides, you know? They're not. Pay attention. Okay. Where's this common spirit going? Where's this message going? Remember who you are. Clarify, please, Spirit. You should go. Clarify who you are. Another big bunch of cards. Can we just have one more time? There's a group. There's a group. Okay. Resources is in reverse. Somebody's lacking resources. Now this is going to be a result, right? Yeah, and this is because of, right? This is because people are not paying attention to how things are supposed to be. There's going to be no sovereignty, and this is exactly where juggling. This is, oh my God, this is people juggling their resources. This is people fighting for, this is juggling, this is fighting for resources. And this is codependence. Wow. Nine of Cups. Longing for. So this is, yeah, ooh, wow. So it's gone from like overindulgence and longing, lusting for, you know, like to consume whatever people consume in excess, has now turned into or will be, turning into a longing for just straight up sustenance. I'm seeing, wow, I'm seeing somebody's kind of half in the water and half out of the water, half in the water and half out of the water. There's, it's like turbulent water, and somebody could be hanging on to some debris here, like, oh, wow. And there's no resources. No help. Family in reverse. Ooh. It's going to be passed over loved ones speaking here. Yeah. But we could be having a lot of losses. Page of Swords, somebody's watching. Well, this is knowledge. No, this is, yeah. Somebody's watching and there's knowledge. This is knowledge. Seeing. Seeing. The past has come to the present. This is like a big going backwards. There's no illusions about this juggling. Missing opportunities because of the hierarchy. They just don't want the burden. This is just like not caring, right? Missing opportunities. There's greed, yeah, there's greed here. There's somebody, like people are hoarding for themselves. And refusing something. There's refusing something whilst holding on to something. There's no illusions about this juggling, and this is the ecosystem. And resources, like juggling, struggling for sustenance. There's no illusions about this. Yeah, like I said, there's something here that somebody's refusing something, but whilst holding on to something. Maybe refusing the truth. Whilst holding on to what they've got, the things, the material. But this is also emotional. They're emotional about the material. Yeah. This is refusing the reality and being emotional about material wealth. That's what they work for. They've got a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's not stable, right? She's in reverse. And this is because of the magicians. The magician in reverse is that, the magician in reverse is the, those that create the illusions, right? And we've got an Empress in reverse. So there could be somebody who is causing illusions. They're unstable. And this could be like the society, like, oh yeah, just keep going on with the work. Like still just working for that material gain, even though it's obvious that it's all this shit going on, and it is because the ecosystem's got out of balance. and it's going to run out. Like, but people are still hanging on to things that are irrelevant. Get into nature. Get into nature. This is where, you know, like it's going to be too late for some. To connect and actually be, this is the majority, 3 of Pentacles, the majority. This is also giving me a community, getting into nature and see that they're receiving from nature, receiving from the trees, right? Picking, right? Being community, this is like a community working together, getting into nature together, because this togetherness, because we've been so fragmented, this is actually getting back to nature and getting back to the community that work together, we survive, right? Not work against each other, don't care who it is, everyone at this time. This is extreme judgment. We have the Queen of Pentacles here, who's very arrogant. They're still, somebody here's still working on the same thing. People still on the treadmill, still following the same patterns, and they have to actually walk right away from it. Engage with community. Feel. Move the body. Clarify. Sunshine. The light. Exposure. Six sunflowers, the red cloth, the horse, white horse. This could be the light, right? It's been seen, right? It's the sun is out. It's being seen, sunshine, the sun, the light is death. Right. At the end of, somebody's no longer bound to death. The sun. Maybe this is about the sun, the light. No longer bound to death. The light no longer bound to death. What does that mean? The light no longer bound to death. What are we talking about here? The sun? No setting sun. No, the light no longer bound to death. Sun. Emperor is in reverse. It's been exposed. The Emperor in reverse. Bad investment. This Emperor in reverse may have made a bad investment. What is this? Emperor in reverse. King of Pentacles. This is the hoarding of resources. Or this is somebody stable. Or this is somebody that's sitting on their throne consuming a lot of bloody resources. Trying to gain the 10 of Cups. And then we've got the work again. The work, working on the Ten of Cups, wish fulfillment, and all these resources that he's got on his throne. We've got a Queen of Pentacles here in reverse that's going through a major tower. And they're sad. Oh, this is in reverse? Not sad? Is that reversed? No. Somebody's sad? Is this Queen of Pentacles in reverse? No. But we've got a Queen of Pentacles. Could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Very sad, going through a major tower. Something to do with the King of Cups, being out in the cold. We've got binding here for being impulsive. They're under judgment. Maybe by a Queen of Wands who is stable and investing. In the Page of Pentacles, the small. Somebody's not communicating. Queen of Wands, stability, the investment. Somebody was impulsive and under judgment. It's a King of Cups who's been left out in the cold, and they might be bound to that. But then we've got the Queen of Pentacles who's sad. They're going through a tower because of somebody's work, and Ten of Cups. Ooh. Somebody's putting their pins in again. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. All negative energy projections will be returned to sender immediately. Thank you, Holy Spirit. This is what people, this is working for the wish fulfillment. And this could be a loss of that. This could be a loss that, yeah, alright Spirit, thank you. All that somebody has worked for. Somebody's losing all that they have worked for. See how fragile we are? Right? Can be just taken away from us in a win. King of Pentacles, clarify. The King of Pentacles is the King of Swords. So we've got two kings. This could be the same king in a different energy. This might be, ooh, Ten of Swords. Sabotage. So, actually, you know, the police could be coming for King of Pentacles. They may have sabotaged themselves. Yeah. Or this is like somebody wants to take out a King of Pentacles. This is somebody with integrity. This is somebody who is honest. This is somebody who's intelligent, strategic. It's like somebody strategically working to Ten of Swords, a King of Pentacles. For being maybe too flashy, you know, like somebody might be too extravagant, and this is like, wow. Somebody's been really overly extravagant, right? Spending and over-consuming, right? That's what we're getting. And this is an Emperor in reverse. I just heard, you know, like the story of the Emperor's new clothes, right? They got really caught up in it. And in the illusion, yeah. So with the Emperor's new clothes, you know, like he was conned by some con artists, right? To pay them. So the emperor paid them to make these new clothes, and they didn't give him anything. They made him believe through illusions that he was in this beautiful attire, but he couldn't see it, right? And everybody went along with it because they didn't want to upset the emperor, that he actually wasn't wearing any clothes. He was just, spun a story that he couldn't see it. It was so fine that he couldn't actually visually see it. Now again, this is tapping on what we see, right? He couldn't see it, even though he could actually see that he was wearing no clothes. But he couldn't see that he was being, he was being conned, right? And it took a child to come up and say, hey, you're not wearing any clothes. And everybody else went along with it because they didn't want to upset the emperor. This is what this is given me here. So the majority didn't want to upset the emperor, who was overindulging. He was paying a lot of money for nothing. But he couldn't see the illusion that he was actually paying a lot of money for nothing. He couldn't see through the illusion. Okay? But what's happened is that those that he may have spent a lot of money for nothing, this could be like taxes or whatever, somebody could have spent a lot of taxpayers' money on an illusion, and now we've got this authority figure or this spirit here that is like an authority coming in, and this is strategically taking this person down. It could be violent, but it's almost like giving me like one sword at a time. We've got the Ten of Swords here, and somebody's going to be taken down one sword at a time. It could mean like one. It's almost like an entourage, one being taken out at a time. It could, you know what I mean? Leading up to the emperor. It's like almost like taking him down one step at a time. Something is like systematically gone through to take someone down. Alright? Emperor. Clarified. Wow. This is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy, right? We've got the Lovers. So there could have been a partnership here. Ooh. Work together. Ooh, for the wish fulfillment. So there's a couple that may have worked together for their wish fulfillment, to have, everything that they ever wanted, right? But this has been seen as overindulgence. I'm also seeing there could be a group of people coming together, so it's almost like, wow. Okay, so what I'm getting, this is interesting, two sides of the coin. And what have I got here? Hang on, let me show you. Two sides of the coin, double-sided, right? Double-sided, two sides of the coin here is, we've got a couple of people working together, and one is on the Ten of Cups, and the other one is on the Ten of Swords, right? One king is systematically taking the cups, the love energy, the emotional energy, the emotion behind the work. Okay. So this is the emotion behind the work, the love of. Wow. So with the lovers here, somebody here, this King of Swords, could be taking out the love in the work systematically. Like one sword takes out one cup, and another sword takes out another cup. It's like systematically taking the love out of the work. Taking the love out of the work. Take it as it resonates, right? Systematically taking the love out of the work. With swords. And this is why this Emperor is in reverse. Because there's taking it out with swords. Distraction. Because somebody's been exposed, and it's like somebody coming up to this Emperor that's in reverse. Somebody's coming with a cloth because they want to cover him up because he's got no clothes on. And there comes this sun because it's exposure. Somebody's exposed, but we've got this energy here coming with the cloth. Take it as it resonates, I don't know, right? It's like covering it up. Covering up the Emperor's, oh yeah, because look where they've got deception here. Somebody's made a decision to deceive. A decision to deceive. Someone made a decision to deceive and not give. And here we have the Emperor. I mean, I said the Emperor, but it's the Hierophant. Somebody made a decision to deceive. And this is not giving, but it's taking the pinnacle. The deception in the decision. There was a decision made to deceive. Cover up is what I'm hearing. Cover up. It's like covering up the Emperor. Cover up the Emperor. He's got no clothes on, right? He's been exposed in some partnerships of overindulgence. Cover up the loves. The love at work. Oh, somebody might have been having a lot of relationships at work. And there's a cover-up. But somebody's taken them down systematically, one at a time. Is being exposed for every one of these cups. Every one of these cups is something that they've done. Covered up. It's partnerships, some sort of partnerships at work that somebody had. We've got 10 cups here. And this King of Swords is taking these 10 of Swords and he's systematically exposing each one of these cups that this Emperor is being exposed for. And somebody might be coming in to try and cover it up. There's like a cover-up. But the cover-up is being exposed, every single one of these deceptions. Because there was decisions made to take. And this is somebody in this leadership role. Exploit is what I'm hearing. To take from. And we've got this Three of Pentacles here, which is this group, right? Three of Pentacles in the Sun. Three of Pentacles in the Sun. So there was a whole group of people that worked on this cover up. Oh yeah. The cover up, the Six of Wands. Because this is the Emperor on top, the leader. It could be a religious leader, or just some sort of organisational leader. And these are all the followers. So there was a whole group of people involved in this cover-up. And now they're juggling. Two of Pentacles. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. And this could be a cover-up of resources, right? Two of Cups. Juggling the partnerships. Somebody's juggling partnerships. If they're no star, somebody didn't care. They have been foolish. We have a King of Wands and a Knight of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. It's in reverse, right? The loss of money, and there's lies about loves. There's a Queen of Swords in reverse underneath. Emotion, passion, feminine light. It could be lies about feminine energy, extravagance. Somebody made an offer, love offer. A Knight of Wands, a King of Wands, sorry. I said Knight of Wands. Somebody's not in regret about a star. There's no leap of faith. Somebody never took a leap of faith because somebody was not a star, or somebody thought somebody was not a star. There could be, yeah, look, there's a whole lot of lost money here. I don't know, that just confused me there for... Perhaps it's Two of Cups, please, Spirit. The partnerships, juggling the partnerships. Somebody was juggling a lot of partnerships. A King of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. They could have been juggling a lot of money between partnerships. Okay. They didn't want to miss an opportunity. Yeah, okay, so somebody didn't want to miss an opportunity. We've got the moon here. They were doing things in the dark. They didn't want to miss an opportunity, so they kept juggling things in the dark. Partnerships, because they wanted too much. They wanted too much. This is somebody overindulging, right? They didn't want to end some cups, an Ace of Cups. But now they have to walk away from, So the illusions are no longer illusions here. So we've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. Burden. So now this has all been exposed and they're burdened. They're carrying a lot of weight. Or maybe they're actually literally overweight. Three of Cups, because of that, this is the indulging with groups. Indulging with groups. Queen of Cups in reverse. Could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Somebody's burdened because they've been exposed for what They've been exposed for dealing with a lot of people, right? Dealing with a lot of, now, again, macro and micro level. So this is on an individual basis, but also on a large scale, collective, right? So somebody's burdened now that they are being exposed for dealing with a lot of different energies. And now they're burdened. So somebody's seeing it with the Page of Swords. Clarify the Page of Swords. And somebody's not holding back. So somebody's not holding back. Queen of Cups in reverse. Pentacles offers. The Star is in reverse. Somebody's not holding back their emotions about somebody's not being a star. Somebody is not a star. There could be an Aquarius as well. So we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We've got Aquarius. We've got Earth sign, water sign. We've got Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh, it could be any signs, right? Any signs. So what is it they're not holding back? They're holding, somebody's not holding back information. Somebody's letting go of, somebody's not holding back information. Somebody couldn't believe it. Ace of Cups. Somebody's not holding back information about love, their love. Maybe somebody's not holding back their love anymore, or something. 6. Queen of Swords is in reverse. Investment. See, somebody could have invested in ending somebody's love. Queen of Swords is in reverse. Somebody was invested in ending somebody's love. But we also had this person over here sharing around with a lot of other people. Someone also could be working on their wish fulfillment, but they overindulged. And that's why they're being taken down systematically. Clarify this 6 of Cups in reverse. Somebody is not heartbroken about this. There's justice. Somebody's not heartbroken about the Queen of Swords in reverse, or somebody, there's justice here. This could be somebody seen as cold or detached. They're not heartbroken. Somebody's seen as cold and detached and not heartbroken. The World card, it's over. Something is over. But balance is coming back into order with the Justice. And this could be balancing out the resources, balancing out the material, balancing out life and death, I heard, which is the natural world, right? Like the life and death, natural order of things, with the material and the, because we're talking about ecosystem again, remember? With these fish here being weighed up, see these dead fish, and then we've got this material balance with the justice. But we've got this dead fish picking at the bones of the dead fish. There's justice for this. There's justice here for this imbalance. the mixed signals are like, it's like investing in, but at the same time taking more than what is sustainable. So it's almost like a token of giving and then overtaking, overconsumption. The mixed signals about, okay, so this is like the mixed signals about consuming less whilst the system is using more. Do you understand? So this is giving me like, this is why the ecosystem's out of whack, right? With this balance. It's like how, you know, like people in the communities are being told they can't use the water, you know, like they've been arrested. Well, people have been like charged a lot of money for, you know, consuming, right? Well, various different things. Whilst the system itself is set up for mass, you know, like overconsumption, for people to overconsume, and then people are being like charged fines and all sorts of things for like overuse, you know, old people using their water and, you know, for over-consuming. But even like with fisheries and whatnot, you get, you know, fishermen going out and they're getting fined for like having too many fish when the industry are like trawling the ocean, you know what I mean? Like scraping the bottom of the ocean for everything. So this is this imbalance with, whereas if things were taken back to, and this is where the mixed signals are, right? With the overconsumption in the from the big industries, whilst penalising people doing things on a small scale, which is much more sustainable for people just to, you know, to fish and hunt and grow things on a small scale, small business, that kind of thing, rather than the mass industries, you know, the mass consuming industries. What is more sustainable? And yet, those in power, the emperor with the no clothes on, is actually being exposed for this, right? This is where we're going. And yeah, so they're being pointed out now, they're being seen. This is now getting back to like being the witnesses. So the mass, the small people, right? The so-called chosen, or, you know, whatever you want to label people, maybe whistleblowers, people that speak out about these things, those that are actually having an effect in influencing others about this overconsumption and imbalance of the ecosystem, and the overconsumption of the big industries. Because we've got these kings up here, this king of pentacles up here, overindulging. And so we have this king of swords that is systematically taking down each one of these partnerships with the higher authority, which is this emperor or king of pentacles, and king of pentacles, because I'm getting like the king of pentacles here sitting up on the throne is like you know, like a big business owner, and then you've got the emperor who is like umbrellaing the big business owners, the partnerships, and, you know, like holding that balance of the partnerships of who can do what and who trades with who. Right? The work. Who loves who, you know, you know, for their wish fulfillment. But see, this has been exposed, and this King of Swords here, this authority, who's systematic and very, you know, it's an intelligence, some sort of intelligence body, is systematically taking them down and exposing these partnerships. But it's quietly and slowly and systematically in the background. Wow. Two of Wands, clarify. Desire, the wants. The devil is in reverse. This is the desire to take down the devil. Yeah, and it's happening. Wow, look. Sabotage and sadness. So this is coming down in a big way, and it is going to actually bring a lot of grief to people because they're at the bottom of the scale of things, right? They're looking at all the spilt cups, but they need to go back here and look at what they've still got, and they need to work on that. But they're looking at the devastation. They're looking at all that. So they need to actually pick up these two cups here and go and work with it. That's working with nature, working with what's still standing, what's still there. A whole lot has gone in this fast-flowing water here, and they're standing there looking at it going, my God, I mean, look at this devastation. But this is bringing down the devil. This is the loss that has to happen for the change to happen. And it's about exposing the emperor, you know, overindulging in taxpayer money by spending a lot of money on invisible clothes. Invisible clothes, right? Okay, clarify and this is then we've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. So we've got a Queen of Pentacles. This is stability. This is getting back. And this is also bringing in the feminine energy. Who's stable? This person is very humble. This person is not extravagant. Now I want to show you the difference in the way this looks between this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Pentacles. So at the beginning of the reading, at the end of the reading, we've got the King of Pentacles. But look, this one, see how extravagant this king looks, and he's got all his food around his neck, and he's got his crown and his pentacle and his half-eaten apples. It's like he's overindulging, right? See how over-consuming he looks. He looks extravagant, right? But look at her. And he's got his wings out going, look at me, you know what I mean? You see how he looks? And then she, here, the Queen of Pentacles, is she's humble. She's not overindulging. She's got what she needs. She's on her throne. She's not being over-extravagant. She's only using what she needs. She hasn't got her wings out, going, look at me, or I'm this and I'm that. You see the difference? She does have the power and the authority. She is stable in her finances. She's stable in balance, you know, like keeping that balance. So this is gonna be a downfall of this King of Pentacles who's overindulgent, and this Queen of Pentacles is returning to who they are. And that is this remembering who you are card here. I'm trying to pick it up, it's stuck to the table. With the culture, resilience and beliefs. She's resilient. She's back to culture. Back to earth culture. But she's starting here with very little. She's humble. She's starting here, very little, because the King of Pentacles over here, this Emperor, overindulged, wasted a lot of resources with the Nine of Cups in reverse over here, but they're systematically being taken down. Five of Swords. Yeah, they're going to have nothing else coming in. They're under judgment. Under judgment. The Ace of Wands, for paving their path with gold. And this is giving me that turbulent water, and the grey, the city is grey. And it might be, and it's been washed away. But Spirit is here. And this is giving me this Queen of Pentacles standing on the wand. So this is this Queen of Pentacles is looking at the devastation, and now she's already thinking about how she's going to manage the devastation or the losses with nothing. And that's the difference, right, about those that can just manifest from nothing after this Tower, this judgment, and this is a resurrection, bringing things back and healing things. We've got the Red Cross there. This is resurrection after the loss. But the resurrection is going to bring back balance with this feminine energy that is not overindulgent. But this is actually systematically being brought down by this King of Swords. But this is in this is in exposing their overindulgences. All right, and the burdens that they have brought on to the community and caused all this imbalance. False leaders, right? What did I say? False prophet, following the false prophet. What the false prophet was, what they thought was profitable. What did they think was profitable? Yeah, they were following illusions of stature, and this is the Emperor wearing no clothes now. It's been seen, been exposed. So, what do we want to end with? We close out with, what are we going to close out with? Let's get something from, okay. So we're going to get something from our Aboriginal dreaming. We're going to get a closing message for our collective, okay? Clarify a message for the collective, please, Spirit. Assuredness. It is time to challenge the situation and say this is not good enough. Stand tall and take a stand. It's time to show the world just how damn tough you are. So there you go, collective. Well, it's not taking things lying down, right? We've got exhaustion. So, we've got exhaustion. This could be the exhaustion of the system. Long and challenging as this journey is, it is worth the struggle. The results are long-term and worth every sacrifice made along the way. So this is getting back to basics, right? Sacrificing what is no longer needed. There's a whole lot of overindulgences that don't need to even be there, right? We've got steadiness. Things seem to be moving slowly, but use this time to your advantage and gather your resources, and rebuild your energy. You are going to need it. wow. But not to panic, right? Because having faith that you will have guidance from the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ancestors, alright? Don't panic. Preservation. Reevaluate this battle you are engaged in. A hasty retreat may be in order. Self-preservation may be the only thing salvageable. See? That's given up all that material stuff. A hasty retreat may be in order. Self-preservation may be the only thing salvageable. So just get out of whatever this situation is. Alright? And yeah, don't worry about, only take what's absolutely necessary. Right? Right back to basics. This is right back to that. So see how she's got that. She's got the throne, but it's not got any over. It's got nothing else attached to it. Right? It's clean. It's she's just got that one pentacle there. It's humble, and it's going to create a new transformation without all the bells and whistles and the frills on top. Because this is just going straight back to basics. Okay? Because this is the illusion that everyone's been living in, is all this over indulgence for comfort and what? Aesthetic. Okay, so all right, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you have a blessed day, and yeah, please, you know, if you are in a place that is actually undergoing a lot of turmoil, please, yeah, I don't even know what I can say really, you know. I can say stay safe, but you know, like you can stay safe, but you're in a totally unsafe place. You know, it's kind of hollow. I don't want to sound hollow. I really genuinely have faith. Only do what you need to do, right? So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.